let's do, you know what? I want to do The Crow. I want to watch this trailer again, and I kind of want to go through it. And if you saw, and by the way, man, I'm probably like 10,000 views on that freaking reaction, which shocked me. I didn't expect that at all. So thank you guys for watching. That means a lot that you guys give a shit about what I say about The Crow. But I think a lot of people know what it means to me. You know, The Crow is very important to me. I've talked about it so many times on my channel. You know, I always profess my love for The Crow. So I think you know that I take this property very seriously. It's pretty much tied with Halloween for my all-time favorite movie. But I like to be fair, and I'll give anything a fair shake. I was, very nervous about this trailer, and I'm more on the side of very worried that this movie's going to be bad. But even if it is bad, does it really even matter? Because it'll just be another Crow movie. You know, yeah, his name's Eric Draven, but still, it'll just be another Crow movie, right? In a sea of bad Crow movies. So that's why I don't take this shit too seriously, like some people are. After this movie's, done, and I'm probably forgotten about in a couple years, because I don't think it's going to be a hit, guys. And if it is, that's great for it. But it's just a niche property. This isn't Halloween. This isn't Star Wars. It's The Crow. I mean, there's a lot of fans of this franchise that are up there in age, because of how old the original movie is, So, but I will say the original movie has endured, and it's quite insane the fan base that it does have still to this day. I mean, the first movie, I constantly see tributes to Brandon Lee, tributes to his performance as the Crow. And I think it's just because of his great performance and just that world that you feel like you step out of reality when you watch The Crow. That's what I love about it. And I kind of went into this in my trailer reaction when I was comparing this trailer to the original. This trailer feels like any modern action movie. And if that's what you're wanting, that's fine. If you're wanting a Crow movie that feels like a Crow movie, and I could even say the second and the third movie still have a little bit of their own, vibe to them, right? They still feel unique. Arguably, they're bad, but they still feel like Crow movies. So this one, it definitely feels like it's got one leg in the Crow world and one leg in the John Wick world. Let's watch it all the way through once, which pretty much gives away the whole movie. But if you know the story of The Crow, there's no, like, The Crow's not a property with, massive surprises. It's not that type of movie. It's not Scream where you have a big whodunit ending, a big reveal. It's not really that, so you know what you're getting.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I saw things.
So it looks like they spend a lot of time building that relationship between Shelley and Eric, just to kind of compare. And I'm going to be comparing this to the original a lot. That's not to say that this did it better than this, which it probably did, but I'm just kind of observing things here, okay? So just bear with me. But if you remember in the original, it was more about flashbacks. Like the very beginning of the movie, the Crow brings him back to life. And I have a feeling, just by looking at this trailer, I don't know for sure, but it looks like this is kind of a chronological thing, and they start off with their relationship, which is an approach, and that's fine. And he doesn't become the Crow until a certain point. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that stuff has to be pretty damn compelling to keep you invested into what is eventually going to become. All right, so let's press forward.
Shouldn't have seen any of it.
Shelley! Shelley! Please don't do this!
This part I actually dig quite a bit. How they're showing. I didn't realize that they're showing him getting killed too in this scene. I guess because I freeze framed it, it showed him, but they really emphasize how she's killed. And, it doesn't look like anything pretty. It's a graphic freaking kill. I think the original is definitely more stylish in the way that Eric and Shelley were killed. I think the high tinted red lighting really suited the scene quite well. Obviously, they're going for a different approach here. This is going for more of a real world approach. And I think Salvation, you could actually compare this trailer to Salvation probably better than you could to the original movie. But the thing is, this movie is taking characters from the original movie. So that's where it's a little jarring. But having said that, to be fair, I do like this particular scene. Because I want to feel something. And I'm hoping before this scene, they build them up to where you actually care about them. So when this does happen, it kind of takes your heart. By the way, I do dig that Ozzy song. It's Ozzy and Post Malone. I looked up the song today. It's a really emotional sounding song, and I definitely give them props for the trailer. I don't think the song's in the movie. But yeah, I actually dig the song. I don't really care for the use of auto-tune, which also brings up the question of the music, because the first 3 movies are so known for how music is just embedded in those stories. The music is almost as much of a guide as The Crow is. So, and it's really just great music. I have all 3 soundtracks. I don't even think there is like a musical soundtrack to Wicked Prayer. But, man, the soundtracks for the first 3 movies are flat out excellent. So I'm hoping that they take a note from that and you have some really good music. I'm pretty open-minded with music. I listen to a little bit of everything. I'm not overly judgmental on any one type of music. I think every type of music has talented artists, right? And every type of music has artists that are not so talented. So, but I do dig this song, actually, and it does add a little bit of an emotional weight to the trailer.
When someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. And sometimes something so bad happens that
Now, I'm wondering if they're going to use kind of a skull cowboy type character in this movie, because if you follow the first movie, you know that they shot a whole sequence with the skull cowboy. But they removed those scenes. They didn't think it was needed, and I agree. I don't think it was needed. I think the movie is steeped in like supernatural elements enough to where I think if you included the skull cowboy, then it would have went overboard. So this voice doing that phrase from the first movie, which was done by Sarah in the first movie, and I much prefer Sarah's vocal delivery in the first movie over this. This doesn't feel like it has any kind of oomph behind it, I guess. I don't know who this character is that's stating it. So maybe we're out of context here, and maybe in the movie, I don't know. I doubt it, but yeah. Now, is he dead already at this point when he's pushing him? Like, is this where he transforms himself into the crow? I'm guessing it is, because if we looked at that scene earlier, he was being suffocated with Shelley. So that's when he supposedly died. So, which is another issue I have with this movie, if it's going this route. It seems like he dies and he still is without makeup, without the crow makeup. So maybe he does some of the killing, or maybe he decides to, maybe they spend a good amount of time with him before he puts on the makeup. That's what I'm thinking. And then once he puts on the makeup, that's when he goes and starts killing everybody. Okay. Which, you know what? It's different. I don't have a problem with it. What's it gonna...
you were given the power of a god. But you're running out of time to save her.
So he's without makeup there when he's shot, and maybe that's when he realizes, oh, I can't be killed. And so he, falls in the bathtub.
What's up, guys? You are at the middle of the video. Don't go anywhere. There's still plenty of content ahead of you, but just wanted to break right here to say you are at Drumdums Xtra, my second channel. If you like my main channel and you're not subscribed, I would urge you to subscribe to this channel, okay? Because this is where I do a lot of my horror updates and whatnot. I moved all that stuff over to here, and it's more of a live stream type feel to it. You'll see little comments, in the chat there. But yeah. I am working really hard on this channel, just as hard as I am on the other channel. You'll see at least 3 or 4 videos a week. And most of it's like horror news, topical type stuff. Got some rankings on there and whatnot. So big thank you to you guys for giving this channel a chance. I'm having a blast with it, okay? It's like a new life. So the main channel's still the main channel, but this is more for this type of content. So anyway, guys, back to the video. And subscribe, damn it.
Oof.
I'm gonna kill them. Every single one of them. I killed you.
Yeah, you did.
I think that's supposed to be the T-Bird scene, which the T-Bird scene is definitely one of the coolest scenes in the movie. The first movie. Really the whole first movie is just chock full of amazing scenes. This, oh my god, I hate to beat down this movie already, but this doesn't look right now at face value. I got issues with it, and my problem there is I'm comparing it to the original. I apologize. Okay, next, let's go.
We have a problem. He came for us.
First impulse. Anger.
To be fair, that is a badass shot. I do like that. That is, I give them credit for going bloody as hell with this. Can you imagine if this was PG-13? Then it would have been a total loss. So, you know what? I guess when I go into this movie, I'm just going to try to maybe take my expectations from the original out of my head, and it's got to be better than Wicked Prayer, right, guys? We already are ahead of the game. Keep that in mind, okay? I think it's mathematically impossible for this movie to be worse than Wicked Prayer. It can't happen. There's no way. So we got nowhere to go but up, right? So yeah.
It's not anger. It's love.
Look at what you've become. You know that love promises only pain. You have no idea what hell awaits you. No.
That was a badass shot too. And if you notice, his blood is black, which is, I think, a cool element to the movie. If you think back in the original movie, there wasn't really that much blood. It was a violent movie, but it didn't really depend on the blood. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a lot of blood. I think it's a good thing. I think that could be one of the pros of this movie. I like that this movie is hella violent,
I do.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
One good thing I could say, another good thing I could say about this movie, and really just, I guess, The Crow in general, it's always fun to watch The Crow do his thing, right? When he eventually becomes the Crow and he goes and hunts baddies, even in the worst movie, it's somewhat entertaining to watch the baddies get their comeuppance, right? And that's what it's all about when it comes to Crow movies. And I think that's the one thing that's going to help this movie. I don't know if save this movie is the word I want to use, but if you're just looking for a good revenge story with baddies, getting cooked, then you might come out of this movie happy. It might be a a satisfying endeavor. That is a badass poster, all right? Trying to be fair here, all right? That is a badass poster. I will definitely give them that. My talking points here. Can this possibly be good? And after going through that, I think the answer is yes. I think it can be good, right? I think there's a chance. I think there's more of a chance that it's going to be bad than good, all right? And I hate to sound really negative, but that's where my head is at right now with it, okay? But I do think there's some good things about the trailer, and I think I didn't even talk about Bill Skarsgard, I think Bill Skarsgard is a really good actor. So I'm kind of depending on him for this, and I think he is the one thing that could really win us all over with this movie. It all rides on him, as it should. He even stated that he's a massive fan of the original. He watched it all the time when he was a kid, and he definitely wants to make this movie something unique. It doesn't want to copy the original, but he wants to respect the original. Rattlehead says it ain't Alex Proyas and it ain't Brandon Lee. Enough said. Sorry, and a lot of people agree with Rattlehead. You know, this is pissing a lot of people off. This movie, you know, it should be pissing me off more than it is. But maybe I just got too much shit going on for it to piss me off. Maybe I'll get there eventually. It just takes a lot to piss me off. So either I like the movie or I don't. At the end of the day, you know, that's what it all comes down to. If I don't like it, I go about my business. I move on to the next thing. You know, like I said at the beginning of this, it's just another Crow movie. Rumors about pacing, makeup. There was a test screening on this. I'll just kind of quickly gloss over this. But there have been rumors that you don't expect him to be the Crow for much of the movie. Okay, that is some of the rumors that are going around. If that's true, I think it is kind of disheartening. I think he should be the Crow for a good portion of the movie. But because I think that's just, you know, the movie's going to definitely have to work extra hard to be good when it all comes down to it, you know. 48 hours. That was one thing, too, and I forgot to pause it on that part in the trailer, but they said something about you have 48 hours to save her. What that tells me is this a situation where he could actually save her life? And if that's the case, then no. I think Shelley should be dead. I think there should be this feeling of heartache. No matter what's going on in this movie. It could be the happiest scene in the movie, but there's always got to be this feeling of sadness. You know, because there's things that have happened that we can't change. That's what's interesting about the Crow. This is a guy that's in mourning and he's killing people. You know, while he's killing people, he still can't forget his lost love. You know, Shelley's dead, and she's never coming back. The best outcome of this is him going back to her. You know, going back to the grave, which is what he does in the original movie. So if they save Shelley at the end of this movie, that's going to be stupid. Chris, he says, Shelley clearly has a dark history. Maybe the whole saving her bit is about saving her soul and clearing her name, and that's his main motivation this time. I'm guessing that's what it is. That is a very, very good observation, Chris. I like that. And if that's what they're doing, then I'm all for that. I think that's cool. Because, yeah, I know that they both, they're coming from like a rehabilitation center or something like that, because you can see it at the beginning of the trailer. So yeah, I'm hoping that this isn't like literally saving her life. That would be pretty sad. Thank you, Chris. John Wick comparison to Punisher, I think that's obvious, but I'll cut him some slack on that because it's a revenge story, and you know, there's a lot of similar revenge stories out there. So to me, that's neither here nor there. I know what they mean. For me, I think the biggest thing is just it feels more like in the real world, which is fine if that's the way you want to go. But the thing that makes the first one so great is that it feels like another world. You know, it feels like you step out of reality and you've entered almost an alternate reality where everything is kind of muted and black and white and rainy, and you know, it just everything's about atmosphere and aesthetic. And just so much going on with that movie. That scene where he falls into the trash can at the beginning of the movie, the big trash dump. And he does that laugh, and then he's walking towards Tintin. Man, what a great scene. It's raining, and I love how he like wipes his chest as he's walking towards him, and he's almost like happy. He's smiling that, oh, there's one of the, I'm going to go kill him right now, and this is awesome. You know, he's a little bit psychotic in that scene, which is great. So, I'm hoping we get some scenes like that in this movie. I don't know.